Here's Muller. This goes Dejan Lovren to touch it behind and away for a corner. Haven't had too many of these. Bayern Munich haven't had too many opportunities. James Rodriguez is the Colombian's corner, which is dealt with by Adam Lallana. He's got it back again off of Coutinho. This is Ribéry. And here comes the Liverpool break. Renato Sanchez is having to resort to rugby tactics to try and hold up Roberto Firmino. That's a yellow card for him.
Such a in the counter-attack, he felt he had to make the foul there no matter what, and he did that, you know, quite obviously.
Trying to grab him round the waist initially, and then had to go with the two hands just to make doubly sure. Of course, we still believe are pursuing Virgil van Dijk in a deal which may well go through before the 1st of September. Here is Coutinho. Firmino. It's good football by Liverpool. Moreno involved, Bayern just about getting it away. Coutinho's got it again. Skipping past challenges. Tolisso with an intervention. Mati. Alexander-Arnold almost finding Adam Lallana. He gets it to Firmino. Was felt for Wijnaldum.
Love to see five players nearly getting into the box there for Liverpool. You know, the energy they have, midfielders arriving, Wijnaldum almost getting ahead of the ball in that position. Such is the desire for them to want to get in the box and score a goal.
Also stopping Bayern Munich higher up the pitch there as well, weren't they? Winning the ball back before Bayern could get into their half.
That's a massive feature of Jurgen Klopp's teams, the way he sets up and the way he expects them to win the ball back.
They look lively, don't they, again in this second half, with Wijnaldum finding Coutinho and back again. Lallana. Alexander-Arnold. Blocked by Alaba. Salah. There's Moreno. Liverpool enjoying more possession, control of the game. Bayern Munich chasing shadows. This is Coutinho onto Firmino. In the end, James Rodriguez had to get back and do some dirty work. Ribéry trying to escape on the counter. Then Alexander-Arnold was making sure he couldn't get completely clear. Lallana looking for Salah. Offside flag is up, and Bayern Munich breathe another huge sigh of relief.
Lovely build-up play again from Liverpool. Very clear, simple passes and a little bit of magic from Coutinho. Lovely little flipped-in ball there, and that is marginal again. Really marginal. You just feel like Salah can he just hold that run just half a yard, and he'd be in on goal for a simple finish for him.
Well, the pre-season workouts have been ramped up for Liverpool since they arrived in Germany. Much tougher than the work they did in Hong Kong. They went through a hard session on Friday. It's been physically demanding, as it always is with Jurgen Klopp. Looks like it's paying off. This is Salah onto Wijnaldum. Salah's kept going. Wijnaldum has two. The Bayern defence got a little bit lucky.
Got very lucky. You just felt that Wijnaldum realised that Salah had wandered a yard offside and decided not to play it.
Ribéry at the other end. Looking for James Rodriguez. Dealt with by Alberto Moreno. Renato Sanchez. It's the back of Adam Lallana. Liverpool coming forward again. Salah will have the beating of Martinez for pace, maybe not strength.
This game really opening up now. You know, this battleground in the middle of the park is quite open. You feel either team's looking to counter-attack, but Liverpool look far the more dangerous in that situation.
Here's Rafinha. Muller's made a dart to the right, and Lewandowski tries to... I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do, because there was no way that any sort of touch of that vogue was going to reach Muller, who had made a diagonal run into the right wing position.
I don't know if he was expecting somebody to have run behind him. He couldn't have seen a run around him, you know, just to hold the ball there. If he has to set it backwards, then so be it. But to keep possession there is, you know, number one importance for him.
Martinez. This is Rafinha. Tolisso. Renato Sanchez pinging it out to Alaba. And now Ribéry trying to get the better of Adam Lallana. Bayern Munich just enjoying a bit of possession, and their supporters ironically cheering as a result of that. Matip underneath it. Lovren 2. Muller is there. Henderson back to help out. How important, how much of a difference is it going to make to Liverpool that Jordan Henderson goes into this season with the hope of being fit for a lot longer than he was last campaign?
Absolutely, you know, he's the skipper. He's got a great work rate, communicates well. You know, it's a very important figure in the middle of the park there for Liverpool, and somebody they're going to need if they want to, you know, really get the full success out of this team this season.
The Bayern supporters not being entertained by their team on the pitch, so they're deciding to do a little bit of their own merry-making. Henderson. Where do you stand on the Van Dijk situation? Apparently had a clear discussion yesterday with Southampton after being left out of a pre-season Tour de France. He hasn't played since suffering an ankle injury himself in January.
Yes, it's never ideal going into a transfer saga when you haven't played. You know, you haven't been fit and played. Having said that, he's done enough over the past couple of seasons to prove and to show that he's a centre-back of the calibre of Liverpool, and somebody that I think would be a welcome addition at the club. It's just a case of whether the two clubs can sort it out and get the deal done. I think Liverpool clearly want him, and he's at the level and at the quality to really improve their back four, in my opinion.
How long do you give it if you're Liverpool before they start looking at somebody else?
That's the question, and you know, thinking about that, will Jurgen Klopp settle for a second best option, or will he hold out and wait for the player that he really wants?
I'm trying to get on the end of Firmino's ball, cut out by Rafinha. This is Tolisso. Muller striking it from distance. Lovren away. James Rodriguez, he was signed from Real Madrid on a 2-year loan. Found himself a peripheral figure really at Real Madrid. 11 goals last season. I wonder what it does for Thomas Muller, who himself didn't get the kind of numbers he would usually like. Here is James Rodriguez, missing the target.
Yeah, Rodriguez hasn't done too much in this game for me to stamp his authority on this team either. You know, we're talking two massive clubs in Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I think if you're playing in that position and in that role, you have to play with real energy and purpose and have some end product.
Well, Lewandowski's always going to be the line leader, 43 goals last season. Müller, only 9 goals last campaign. And that's because he was playing second fiddle to Robert Lewandowski.
Did he have any injuries in last season?
Particularly. You look back at his record over the last few years, 19, 19, 11, 23, 26, 21, 32, and then 9 last campaign. It's another conundrum that he has to solve, because he's a player that's constantly linked with moves elsewhere. In fact, he was linked with a move to Liverpool. He's always linked with a move to the Premier League. He never leaves Bayern Munich, but might not always be the case.
Well, you'd be thinking if you got 32 the season before, you'd think your place was pretty solid for the following year.
You'd think. And that's Rodriguez trying to flick it through to Thomas Müller. The Bayern Munich legends sitting on the bench. Willy Sagnol was the one closest to us. Here's Tolisso, can hit them from this sort of range. Martinez. And again. Forward towards Lewandowski. Missed him, away by Matip. Further cleared by Wijnaldum. This is Sanchez. And that's short. And Firmino is on it. And it's 3-on-2 here. But Firmino might not need anybody else. Mats Hummels comes across and deals with the danger before it gets even worse for Bayern Munich.
That long strider Hummels just got him out of trouble there. It's a difficult situation for a centre-back being ran out at that pace, but he opened his legs, he positioned his body brilliantly, you know, all that experience that he's got, and dealt with the situation.
Well, we've hit the hour mark. And a chance to make some changes. Rodriguez is just having a quick chat with some of the coaching staff. Kingsley Coman is about to come on. There's Arturo Vidal. Absolutely sensational for Chile at the Confederations Cup. Big fan?
Huge fan. And if he was to get on the pitch this evening and play anything like how we did in that tournament, he'd certainly liven the game up for Bayern.
Rodriguez is off and Kingsley Coman is on. 21 million euros from Juventus in April after a loan spell. Worked under Carlo Ancelotti previously. Direct and youthful and can create. This is Müller. Come on. Ribéry. This is Alaba. And Renato Sanchez. To Javi Martinez. Crosses by Rafinha and it's headed away by Matip. Liverpool have a chance to break again. At pace with Mo Salah. That was naughty from Mats Hummels.
Just used his body well there. Firmino knew the contact was coming, held his ground and drew the foul. You know, Hummels had to go through him to get the ball and gave away a clear free kick. But Liverpool's work rate from wide areas with Lallana and Salah, you see them backing up the fullbacks brilliantly. You know, Salah's done a great job this second half in front of Arnold and getting back. When Ribéry's running at him, he's doubling up, showing him inside into a tackle. You know, it's really demanding position.
Well, it hasn't all been, in the words of Rihanna, work, 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 work. Since they've been in Germany, the Liverpool players had a day off in Bavaria on Sunday. They took a cable car up a mountain and viewed the spectacular lakes from 1,600 metres up. It's been hot too, as we mentioned earlier, 30 degrees earlier today. Nice enough for a bit of sunbathing. And one or two even had a little dip in the lake itself. Might feel like they've had a dip tonight. Lewandowski trying to push his way past the Liverpool defence, and Trent Alexander-Arnold returned the favour. Almost took a little tumble over the advertising hoardings. Remember, the two losing sides will play tomorrow before the final. As it stands at the moment, that means that it will be Bayern Munich against Napoli, live here at 4:45 English time, followed by Liverpool against Atletico Madrid. Sanchez. It's a decent cross by Kingsley Coman. Away by Adam Lallana in the end. Just needed someone with a bit more hunger to try and get on the end of that.
I think that's a great expression for maybe what Bayern's performance has been lacking. It's just that hunger, you know. A younger, more energetic players come on in Coman and whips a very dangerous ball across the face of the goal, and there's no one bearing down on it, which is a shame because the delivery was worthy of a goal.
Tolisso. Hunted down by Gigi Wijnaldum. Scratching his head a little bit, I think, Carlo Ancelotti. Work to be done for him. His work is finished for the night. Roberto Firmino off, so you can see Ryan Kent, who is the first to come on in replacement. Daniel Sturridge, who's been involved in all 5 games so far, yet to score in pre-season. Ragnar Klavan, most expensive Estonian of all time, replaces Joel Matip. Marko Grujic. It's coming on too. It's the end of the night for Mo Salah, who has got himself on the score sheet for yet another one of the pre-season friendlies. All smiles as they go off as well. And it'll be good to see Daniel Sturridge. Henderson coming off. Apparently he's fit, sharp and ready for a full season. If that's the case, then Liverpool have got a hit on their hands.
Definitely, and they'll need him with the way the front players work. You know, the rotation for Liverpool is important, and this pre-season for Daniel Sturridge, you know, I don't think you can, overemphasise how big it is for him. You know, there's not a lot to talk about with him at the moment, but
here he is racing away. Not a bad first effort. Didn't have much support. Ryan Kent was busting a gut to get up alongside him. They will need that sort of resource. Criticism last season was that the Liverpool bench was not as strong as it should have been or could have been. Injuries did cause them an issue. You think that Divock Origi's not available tonight? Another option. don't think they'll be using Danny Ings as much this season, or that much this season. And very unlucky with injuries, hasn't he?
A terrible time with injury. It's such a shame to move to a new club and have such bad injury trouble.
Moreno getting there ahead of Kingsley Coman. Ben Woodburn as well, who's only 17 years of age, but has already scored in pre-season and has taken the title of Liverpool's youngest ever scorer. Coman looking for Muller, and it's behind by Alberto Moreno.
You just feel with Sturridge to stay fit, number one objective for me. I think if he stays fit and involved in the team, his confidence will grow, his performance will improve, and then you can start to deal with the performance. But unless you can get on the pitch, it's impossible to do that.
Bayern corner taken by Ribéry. Grujic got a header on that, managed to get it clear. Picked up by Alexander-Arnold. Got lots of options in front of him. Ryan Kent has pulled out towards this near touchline. This is Daniel Sturridge. Lallana. Good ball by Grujic out to Kent. Took it down really well. Lovely feet from Ryan Kent. Pulls it back. Grujic. 3-0 Liverpool. And Liverpool's free scoring pre-season is rumbling on. Really good move involving youngster Ryan Kent, who's just come off the bench, combining with the second substitute. And it's all over for Bayern Munich.
Outstanding wide play from Kent. Direct footwork. Cut the ball to the byline, and to have the head to kind of look up and pick him out. And lovely side foot from Grujic. I mean, the control on that inside the post. Looked like the ball was just popping back out of play. So whether that's an own goal or not, you probably have to say, well, the ball's hit the post and hit the back of Grujic and gone in. But great play from the two substitutes from Liverpool, and such composure there with the cutback and the lovely side foot finish.
Unfortunately, that is going to be one of those harsh ones that goes down as a goalkeeping own goal. No one wants one of those, especially not 2 days before your 29th birthday. Poor old Sven Ulrich is going to get one. And Manuel Neuer has still got a bit of an injury issue. Tom Stark has played a couple of games in pre-season too. Vidal has now come on to try and come up with a rescue plan, which looks implausible.
He's got a bit of work to do. Lovely play there, Ken. Step over, cut back. To have the awareness to get your head up and cut the ball that far back, and then the side foot finish. So controlled, just hit the target in that position. Does everything he needs to do, and unfortunately he can't claim the goal.
Just looking at the scoreboard, have they ruled that goal out?
Well, judging from the score.
What would they have ruled it out for? The player being in front of the goalkeeper? Is that a possibility?
Possible. I mean, but the ball was cut back from the goal line. Was there somebody screening the goalkeeper's view that was allegedly interfering? Nobody touched the ball. The ball went straight onto the post, onto Ulrich and in the net. So, you know, I can't see how anyone can be interfering with play from an offside position. Hopefully they've just not got the score quite right.
Cracking pre-season friendlies, eh? Communication has not been perfect in the over the course of this Audi Cup. Either way, Liverpool lead. And as we're getting a little bit of a word that possibly it was ruled out for offside. I did think maybe that the goalkeeper was being screened by, I think it might have been Adam Lallana who was in the way. Ryan Kent was in an offside position as the shot came back in, but he wasn't interfering with play.
It had to be a Liverpool player interfering with the goalkeeper's line of sight from the shot after Kent cut it back from the goal line.
Sanchez. And now by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Either way, I think Jurgen Klopp will be pretty impressed with the movement.
Oh, great for the two subs to come on and have that kind of impact. You know, you can't ask for more. You know, it was direct, it was crisp, it was aggressive, good footwork, good awareness, and a really nice finish to side foot the ball from that kind of range.
Almost found its way to Muller. Ragnar Klavan did just enough for Liverpool. Rich under pressure here. Took it in his stride. Milana took it in the chest. Here's Ribéry. Lovely disguised pass. Lewandowski with a heavy touch. Alexander-Arnold again there. Well, Jurgen Klopp's got a few troubles at right back, having lost Joe Gomez and concerns about Nathaniel Klein. He won't be worried after seeing this performance from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who did very well towards the end of last season too.
Yeah, no, he must be very reassured by this performance this evening. To lose someone like Nathaniel Klein, who's been so consistent for Liverpool over the seasons, to know that you've got this young lad as backup or can step into the team at any time. You know, he's done an outstanding job this evening, and he'll be learning with matches like this, playing against people like Ribéry and these occasions. He's going to grow as a player.
Liverpool face Watford away at the start of the season, then Palace at home before Arsenal at home. In between those fixtures, they have a Champions League playoff. Bayern start their campaign really at the weekend against Borussia Dortmund in the Super Cup. Here's Sturridge trying to dance his way into the Munich penalty area and has won a corner. They don't look quite right, do they, Bayern?
No, and you know, in watching it, you kind of think, well, why are they off their game? You know, they've had a lot of pre-season matches. They're probably at a similar stage as what Liverpool are in their preparation for their season. And they look completely off the boil this evening.
Alabar's got a problem and wants to be substituted. He has now gone down at the back post. And there's another issue. They've already lost Thiago to injury. No Ian Robben tonight. Boateng yet to come back.
It looked like James Rodriguez went off with a little something. Looked like he was signalling to the bench and to the coach that he had a bit of a problem.
All's going well. Liverpool about to bring on Woodburn and Flanagan. Flanagan was at Burnley on loan last season. Didn't make too many appearances, 9 I think, over the course of the campaign. This is Christian Fruchtel. First of all, here's Flanagan. He's coming on for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Marco Friedel has come on. He's a left full-back to replace Alabar.
Arnold's got to be very happy with his evening's work. 80 minutes, good finish. Just looked like he was cramping up a little bit at the end there, so I think he brought him off for the last 10 minutes.
Christian Fruchter, the goalkeeper, has sat back down again. Here's Moreno. And it wasn't too far wide of Ulrich's left-hand post. Didn't need an invitation to hit it, did it?
No, you just look at Bayern's set up there again. There's a lot of players along the 18-yard box and penalty spot line, but nobody holding position on the edge of the box. It's too easy just to get a strike on goal off of a headed clearance there.
Vidal. Rafinha. Header away is by Lovren. This is Lallana. Flanagan. Hummels. Renato Sanchez. Vidal. Ribéry. Muller. Setting up Vidal. Takes a deflection. And it's snuck behind. Karius wasn't entirely sure. Had to scurry across to get to the post to make sure it didn't sneak in.
Didn't quite get the cleanest of strikes there, Vidal. Topped it into the ground a little bit, and which forced the deflection.
Which has now been adjudged as a handball.
Possibly. He must have played for it.
Has to be deliberate handball, doesn't it? You get the feeling that that would have been difficult from that sort of range. And the referees are allowed to make mistakes in pre-season too. Well, Lewandowski is lining this one up. Vidal is in the heart of the wall. Muller in a no man's land position, just trying to mask the wall. It's Lewandowski, takes a deflection. And Wijnaldum and out for a corner.
Just a little bit more height, half a yard more height from Lewandowski there would have caused a problem.
Muller sweeping it back to Mats Hummels. And it was an intelligent and well-crafted set piece, which almost led to a Bayern Munich goal.
Really interesting corner. Don't think I've seen that before, to play it straight along the goal line and then to sweep it into the box like Muller did. Good run from Hummels into that near post area, but Liverpool had the bodies in there to deal with it.
It's a game that's lost its shape and its tempo over the course of the 90 minutes because of the interruptions and the substitutions, but Liverpool certainly the brighter of the two teams, and maybe disappointed not to have a third goal to show for what has been a comprehensive performance. They might get one now because Sturridge is speeding away in behind the Bayern defence, and that is a beautiful finish. Now, has he hurt himself in doing Bayern Munich damage? You would hope not. But it looks as if he does have a little bit of an issue. He's got more than just a little bit of an issue. Big problems for Bayern. Liverpool absolutely sensational on the counter-attack once again.
Such bad awareness here from Bayern of where Sturridge is on the pitch, but he gets away, really. I mean, that is absolute class. When we talk about Daniel Sturridge and what he offers, that is absolute class. But you can see the grimace there on his face as he chips it. I think as he decelerates, just to lift the ball, puts a bit of tension on his quad muscle from the looks of it, and he knows as soon as that ball leaves his foot that he's got a problem with his quad. I really feel for him, because on one hand you produce something of real class like that, and on the other you know that you've got a niggling injury again.
Well, he's still out there, and you know, there has been the accusation that sometimes it's more in his mind than in his body, but that looks to be pretty clear.
The facial expression normally tells it all.
The movement's not right, is it? I mean, he's not moving freely.
No.
He pulled up straight away, and you just do feel so sorry for him that once again, after proving how deadly he can be and how deft a finisher he can be, that he could end up having another issue which could set him back. You mentioned it earlier, pre-season, getting through a pre-season is so important for him this year.
Absolutely, and you feel like his body is letting him down at the moment. I've been in that position, and when you've got to kind of, you've almost got to reset yourself, and it's a real difficult puzzle and conundrum to solve, and so far he hasn't done that in the past few seasons, and it's really hampering his ability to play, which, you know, obviously you then cannot perform at all, let alone worry about the standard that you're performing at.
And then it gets into your mind, doesn't it? Every time you feel anything. Come out for Bayern Munich, who usually win the Audi Cup. This is the 5th running of it. They've won it 4 times previously. The only team that have taken it off them were Barcelona. They won't be winning it this time around. And we'll be seeing them again tomorrow at 4:45 on ITV. Liverpool straight after. Tomorrow night they'll play Atletico Madrid. Here's Kingsley Coman. Sanchez hunted down by Adam Lallana, who gives away a free kick. And Daniel Sturridge's night is over. And there will be concern on the Liverpool bench once again. There'll be sympathy for him. Dominic Solanke is on. Sanchez is striking. What's going through his mind now?
Oh, I can't begin to kind of go through how he must be feeling, because, like I said, on one hand you're producing something of that level of ability and class, and there you see the grimace on his face of he knows he's tweaked his quad muscle and he's coming off. And if I was him, I'd be walking away thinking, I've got to do something different. I have to reset, and I have to do something completely out of the box to what I've already done and commit to it fully and see where it takes me.
Dominic Solanke has come on to replace him, and he's the young lad that they got from Chelsea. And compensation around about £3 million. No compensation to the Bayern Munich fans who have endured that 87 minutes. I don't think they're sticking around for much more. Solanke's had a good start to his Liverpool career. He scored a header on Saturday against Hertha Berlin. He's been on the score sheet a couple of times already in pre-season. And he actually started the game on Saturday against Hertha Berlin because of an injury to Divock Origi in the warm-up. Wasn't slated to start the match, but ended up doing so and scored. And tussle. Arturo Vidal. And Adam Lallana being broken up by Dominic Solanke. Yellow card for Vidal. And yellow card for Lallana.
Well, we knew Vidal would have an impact of some kind.
I see today that Winston Reid was sent off during a pre-season friendly as well. I thought it was an unwritten rule that yellow cards and red cards didn't really get dished out during these tournaments.
Apparently not. Apparently not. And there's been a couple of fouls that have been let go, to be honest. I felt like Rafinha could have had a yellow card easily in the first half, and the referee refrained, but I think red cards in these competitions are pretty unnecessary, to be honest.
Poor old Winston Reid, I haven't seen the challenge, got booked for one challenge and then sent off for dissent, I think, or the other way round today.
I think a polite asking of the manager to remove him from the pitch is probably appropriate in some of these competitions or pre-season matches.
1 minute of normal time to go. I don't think the Bayern Munich fans want there to be any more in terms of stoppage time. Here's Ryan Kent. Still going. An experienced defender like Mats Hummels diving in that circumstance is not advisable, is it?
No, but for me it just shows you how vulnerable he feels, you know, in terms of his surroundings. You know, Bayern haven't looked like that they've had any real structure or know-how of where each other are on the pitch. So, you know, individually it leads you to make choices like that are more out of panic and not being reassured than anything.
Flanagan. Liverpool's unbeaten pre-season will continue. Jurgen Klopp did say that this would be the perfect test to see where his team lie ahead of the new season. I think we've discovered they're in pretty good shape.
Well, if he's using this as a benchmark, then he's got to be pretty pleased. And you know, another game tomorrow. It's going to be interesting how he juggles his squad. Liverpool will face Atletico Madrid in the final of the Audi Cup after they continue their pre-season purple patch. Goals in the first half took them away from Carlo Ancelotti's team. Daniel Sturridge finished it off in the second half with a third Liverpool goal. There was one disallowed midway through that second half as well. A comprehensive victory for Jurgen Klopp on his return to Germany. It has finished in the Allianz Arena. Bayern Munich 0, Liverpool 3.
Wow, what a stunning night for Liverpool and their supporters. We'll have all the analysis when we come back from Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler.
Mr. Green.